Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money Podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Bruce Elfenbein on the line, and he's a certified financial fiduciary and also CEO at Secure Retirement, Inc. Bruce, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Adam. Well, good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing okay out there.
So, Bruce, I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about some of the advanced tax planning strategies that you offer. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into what you're doing over at Secure Retirement, Inc. Tell us a little bit more about your firm, please.
Well, again, being fiduciaries, it's funny. I'm working with some folks now, and I tell them, hey, I'm a certified financial fiduciary. And someone actually stopped me in my tracks. They said, you say that like people know what it means. And I'm like, you're right. I'm wrong. If you have a 401k, there should be a fiduciary involved. The fiduciaries are kind of like the watchdogs of your money. If you've ever worked with a broker or an advisor, and they make a recommendation or they make a plan for you, and they say, yeah, you want to buy this, you want to do that, you may go along with them, but somewhere in the back of your head you hear that nagging voice saying, no, wait a minute. What they just recommended for me, is that good for me? Or is that good for them? Does that pay them a high commission? So the fact is by being a certified financial fiduciary, we've eliminated all doubt. And whether it's myself or anybody else that's been certified through the National Association of Certified Financial Fiduciaries, they were always going to have the client's best interest at heart. And if they make a recommendation, it has to be at that moment in time the very best financial instrument in the entire industry that's going to do that job for the client and give them the best chance of a return. You cannot consider your own compensation. You cannot consider anything like that. Only the client. And you know something? By doing things the right way and doing them consistently, you don't have to worry about, taking advantage of somebody and trying to squeeze a little extra commission out of something. The business takes care of itself as long as you take care of the people.
I love it. And it just makes perfect sense. And I think there's a big distinction, and I'm glad you brought up and defined what a fiduciary means. That being said, let's talk a little bit more about the services you're offering as a fiduciary. So what type of clients are typically right? What kind of specialties do you typically work in, if any? Tell us a bit more about that, please.
Well, primarily we work with business owners and professionals. We have advanced strategies you just don't find on Main Street. For example, some of the things we do is, I was working with a business owner the other day. They had a fairly large, seven-figure amount in their SEP IRA. And, that's a lot of money you're going to pay taxes on. But we started working with them, and we were able to move that IRA into a Roth and then defer the taxes for life. So it was a beautiful thing for them. They have full access to the money, and they don't have to worry about paying, the tax bill on it for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people kind of miss some of these strategies and miss running the math and thinking about, does it make sense to pay taxes now? Does it make sense to pay taxes later? And it really, obviously, it's going to depend on the business owner and all those things and how it works into their overall financial plan. But why do you think some of these strategies are kind of neglected on Main Street? Like, I never understood how that kind of gets missed.
Well, the bottom line is there's a lot of stuff out there most people just simply don't know about. And they just do the same old what everybody's doing. And in the end, they get the same old results that everybody's getting. One issue that I've run into, I don't know how much of it's going to be an issue after the smoke clears on our current economic situation, is capital gains. And if I have anybody that has, they're looking at their tax return and their capital gains are above 150,000, we're able to generally cut that at least in half. Sometimes we're able to get rid of it altogether. And that comes in real handy if you, let's say you own a business and you've owned the business, you're ready to retire, you want to sell the business, and you're looking at a big capital gains bill, man, we can really help with that. Who doesn't want to pay half the amount in taxes?
Oh man, yeah, that's one of the things, and to the business owners out there that are listening to this right now, the ones that are thinking about selling, you have to do all this planning before you sell. just throw that out there. You want to, no, because let's not assume that. I know you've received quite a few calls in your time, Bruce, as long as you've been in this business, where somebody calls and they're like, just sold my business. Can you help me with the taxes? And you're like, you're thinking about selling it, or you've already received a check. Tell me that hasn't happened to you, Bruce.
Yeah, well, actually, believe it or not, we can work with you both ways, but it is much easier doing it beforehand.
Yeah.
It's like, rolling the body in and saying, well, they died a couple days ago, but I need you to bring it back to life. No, it doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have proper planning every step of the way. Make life easier on yourself.
Man, well said, Bruce. So that being said, if somebody's listening to this and they want to learn more about some of these advanced tax strategies that you offer, or just to learn more about the firm overall, what's the best way for them to reach out to learn about secure retirement?
Well, one thing you can do is go to one of our websites. The first one is going to be Secure Retirement, SECURETIREMENT.life. And yes, if you noticed, we use the RE at the end of secure and the beginning of retirement, just one time. That was very clever on our part. So you could go there. Another strategy we've been using lately that's been very powerful, and not necessarily for the high net worth folks, even though it'll work for them, is teaching people how to eliminate all of their debt. Their credit cards, their student loans, their mortgage, in 9 years or less, without spending any more than they already do. And if they want to find out about that, they can go to our website, NoDebtAndHappy.com.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Bruce, it's been great having you on the show today. Appreciate you coming on, telling us more about what you're up to and about your strategies. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the comment section. I'd love to hear what kind of things you're working on and what kind of projects you have going. And Bruce, thanks again for coming on the show.